Yes. Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are well. So, today we are on Chai and Chat. I think it's the third session, and you'll be watching me for the first time. I'll do a little bit of my introduction once I open the slides. But today it's all about South Asian foods. We are celebrating South Asian cuisine, and usually we believe that whatever we're eating, the South Asian food we're eating, it's not healthy. And when we are having it, we are always having the feeling of guilt. So we're having it, and at the same time, we are not enjoying it. And at the back of our mind, we're feeling guilty about it. So let's stop these guilts. Let's open up. Let's love our cuisine. South Asian food is the best food. So no guilts. So let's start off with my slides. And how I want this to be is that I will be going through the slides and discussing South Asian foods, their benefits, their nutrients. But at the same time, I would leave some time in the end because I'm really interested in answering some questions, because I want to reach out to all the communities all around, because this message, I think we need to share this video eventually as well, because this message needs to go far and wide. People need to understand, our South Asian communities need to understand that how nutrient dense South Asian food is. So we really need to share this with our community so that we can understand the importance of South Asian food. So I'll share my screen and we will give it a start. Share screen. Share screen. Share. Let me see if I can. Is the screen being shared? I don't know. Slideshow, play from start. I'm not sure if the screen is being shared or not. I really need to know.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, brilliant. So here I am sharing my screen. Due to certain problems, I can't see myself, so I'm talking to the screen at the minute. So the topic of my presentation today is celebrating South Asian food. And because it's the South Asian month, if any one of you had been following my tweets, every day I have been posting about a different South Asian cuisine and how we should be celebrating that cuisine. If you've not been following those tweets, there are 10 days left, you can still follow them. So let's move on. Before we celebrate our South Asian food, a little bit about me. So my name is Fariha J, and I'm a registered dietitian. I am based in Plymouth, and I was a mature student, and I qualified as a dietitian in 2016. Originally, long time back, I did my master's in anthropology, and this was a later thought. I thought that let's go into nutrition and diet, and then I started studying in 2011 and qualified. Took me years and years to do it. That's another story for another day. And I qualified in 2016. I'm also a diabetes specialist dietitian. So I work for the Primary Care Trust as a diabetes specialist. I also work for Sentinel Plymouth as a diabetes specialist. So I do talks on educating people about how to improve their diet and diabetes. I am also the director of my own company called the Lifestyle Change Limited. Under that company, I do consultations with South Asian people from all around the world. So one day it can be a consultation with someone in New Zealand. One day it can be someone in Morocco. It's really strange that anywhere in the world, South Asians can contact me for a consultation. I'm also a social media dietitian. That's just my passion. That's just out of interest. You'll find me on YouTube. My videos are there on YouTube. You'll find me on Instagram. You'll find me on TikTok doing short videos. You'll find me on Facebook group. I have got a Facebook group, a Facebook page. So I try my best to be as active as ever on social media. So that was a little bit of introduction of mine. Now, so before we talk about celebrating South Asian food, we need to go back and talk about a little bit about some of the health conditions which are quite prevalent in the South Asian communities. So South Asian and diabetes and its prevalence. Type 2 diabetes is up to 6 times more common in people of South Asian descent. And in the UK, people of South Asian origin are the largest ethnic minority who now comprise the majority ethnic group in several urban locations. In 2010, the South Asian Health Foundation estimated that there were 388,000 South Asian people with type 2 diabetes in the UK, equating to 15% of the population of people with diabetes. So we know that the numbers of diabetes are extremely high among South Asians. So now this estimate is from 2010. So it's 11 years now. So imagine how the numbers must have grown. So we know that diabetes is extremely, really prevalent among the South Asian populations. So one is that. On the other hand, if we think about South Asians and the heart disease, prevalence of heart disease, according to the British Heart Foundation, South Asians are at a higher risk of developing coronary heart disease compared to the white Europeans. So these are just two of the conditions which I have mentioned. There are so many other conditions as well, and South Asians do suffer from all these health conditions in the UK. So when we think of the contributing factors, they can be different, there can be many factors. And recently I did another talk on it, and I explained in detail about each factor which was contributing to these health conditions. But just roughly, if we talk about the contributing factors, it can be because of the low socioeconomic position, the cultural barriers, the language barriers, attitudes, genetic. So there's so many factors which are contributing to these risk factors. One of which is diet and lifestyle. And today, being a dietitian, I will be focusing more on the diet. I am focusing more on the diet and lifestyle side of it. So now we know that there's this condition. Now we know that South Asians are suffering from it. We know the contributing factors, and one of the factors is diet and lifestyle. Okay, so this slide is purely I've made this purely on my own personal experience. And when I speak to my South Asian clients or South Asian patients, these are the sort of responses which I give. So when I speak to my clients about diabetes prevention, or even if they've got diabetes, and I speak to them that what sort of a diet they need to follow, and when I speak to them, talking to them about how they can follow a healthy lifestyle, these are the responses which I get. I'm sure most of you must have listened to these responses before as well. So one of the response over here is, I can't have boiled vegetables. So whenever I ask them to have vegetables, the response I get is, yes, but I can't have vegetables. I can't have boiled vegetables. Okay. The other response which I give to them, I say to them, eat healthy. So the response I get is, yes, I want to eat healthy, but I cannot give up on my spices. Really? So then the other is, when I say to them, eat healthy, the response I get is, I cannot live without roti. I have to have my roti. So then this is the response which when I say to them, eat healthy, the response I get is, we cannot follow a healthy diet because we cannot have English food. So this is what the belief is. This is what they think. This is most of the communities, most of the people think that if they have to have healthy, they have to have English food. So now, as health professionals, those of you who are watching me, or those of you who are not even from health professionals, it is our duty. I think it is extremely important, first and foremost, to get this belief changed. We really need to make this belief change, because from here change will take place. If our communities belief system about these things change, automatically they will move towards healthy eating and healthy lifestyle. So whenever, from now on, whenever you're sitting with your parents, your grandparents, your friends, your family, and if something like this comes up, here is our responsibility, here is our duty to start talking about it and start changing this belief. So what will we say to them? So the response, I can't have boiled vegetables. So the response is, you don't have to have boiled vegetables. You can have vegetables in any shape and form. They can be in the form of a curry, they can be raw, they can be steamed, they can be grilled. Like many times someone says to me that, but I like my aloo gobi. Like, yes, okay, aloo is carbs, but gobi is your vegetables. That's absolutely fine. You want to have your mutton, you want to have your peas. Yes, that is your mutton curry you want to have. They're like, but I like my mutton curry. That is your vegetables. So half a plate of vegetables, when you're thinking about vegetables, absolutely your curry counts as vegetables. We cannot follow a healthy diet because we cannot have English food. So what's the response to that? You don't have to follow an English diet to be healthy. Traditional South Asian foods are also healthy. Absolutely. We have carbs, our food has carbs, our food has proteins, our food has vegetables. We have all the food groups in our diet, and sometimes I think it's even healthier because of all the spices we put into it, which has so many antioxidants in them. So absolutely, your traditional food is also healthy. And the other one is, cannot give up spices, which I've already said, that you can enjoy all your food with all spices. Spices have many beneficial properties. So rather than thinking that you're going to have bland food, put your spices in, because they will be giving you more and more of antioxidants. The one is, I cannot live without roti. Please don't live without roti. Roti is very, very healthy. You can have roti, you can have rice, you can have chapati, and you can still be healthy. So now there is this belief, and we need to change this belief and bring the people to understand that this is what it is. Okay, so think that we've changed the belief. Let's imagine that we've changed everyone's belief, and now they know that, this is how it should be. But then again, there is some problem somewhere. Something is causing, even if they follow all these points, there is a problem somewhere in the South Asian diet. And what's that? The slide. As I've mentioned here, then what is the problem? This again, I have all these slides which I've made are all based on my own experience, because every day I see clients, South Asian clients from all around the world, and this is what I experience every day. So these slides are more so based on my own experience as well. So this problem I've realized by talking to my clients every day. And what is the problem? So the problem is, there are two problems. So one is increased oil and ghee intake, and the other is portion size. So when we say oil, I don't know if everyone knows this term, but this term is used, tari. Put a tari on top of my curry. So the tari is a huge layer of oil which is floating around your curries. So why are we making our food in taris? We can surely make our lamb curry, we can surely make our dal without that tari. And I've put this picture at the back as well of samosas being fried. Look at the amount of oil. So if we look at the guidelines given to us by the British Dietetic Association and by the Department of Health, we need to be having 2 to 3 teaspoons of oil in a day. And I think when we have our South Asian cuisine, just in the one nivala, just in the one bite which we have, we end up having 2 to 3 teaspoons of oil. So I really believe that oil intake really needs to be brought down. The other thing which I always say is that, okay, if you can't bring it to 2 to 3 teaspoons, that's absolutely fine. Just say to yourself, okay, I'm cooking my curry in 12 tablespoons. From now on, I will make it in 8 tablespoons. Or from now on, I will make it in 6 tablespoons. Just thinking how you can reduce the amount, not thinking about the 2 to 3 teaspoons, but just thinking that, okay, I will try to make it half of the oil which I'm using. And as far as the samosas and the rolls and things like kebabs and all those things are concerned, there's so many gadgets out there. So rather than frying them, just brush them, grill them, bake them. All this Ramadan, I had been baking my samosas, and I had some mocks. People were mocking on my posts on Instagram because they didn't look as they should be looking, but they tasted really, 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 really nice. They were not brown, they were more of white in color, but they were crispy, they were nice, they were yummy. So we just need to change our habits. And then people saying to me that we can't do it, I say to them, at least start doing it with your children. Give your children baked samosas, baked rolls, baked kebab, and we need to start from somewhere. So then that will become their habit, because we have grown up eating these fried things. For us, maybe it will be difficult, but for our next generations, if we give them the food which is already baked, or if we cook in less oil, then that they will be used to that. So we need to bring that change in our food. So it's the same food, but less oil. Now coming to the portion size. And this again, our portion sizes are huge and they are mostly based on carbs. So if we're having rice, or if we're having khichdi, or if we're having biryani, our plate is just all about rice and it's all heaped up with rice. So if we're having roti, we're just having rotis. So portion size also needs to be, we need to think about portion size. And the reason why our portion sizes are big, because we completely ignore the other food groups. Food groups such as vegetables, food groups such as protein, food groups such as dairy. So if we start including all these food groups in our meals, automatically our carb portions will reduce. Our focus is just on carbs. So all these food groups together will fill up us as well, but also help us to limit our carb intake. Okay, so now we know these are the two problems and we have to deal with them. A little bit on the portion size, I thought I'll give some, I'll show some of my pictures. These are my own food pictures. I don't cook my rotis a lot. So I usually get the flat bread. So in 3 of the pictures, you would be seeing flat bread. And in 2 of the pictures, I have managed to make a chapati. So this is a visual representation. Like on top, if you can see the picture with pink background, this is what we should aim to have. Half a plate of vegetables, quarter plate of our vegetables with quarter of our plate should be based on carbs such as potato, rice, pasta, and bread. And the other quarter will be based on our proteins such as our fish, beans, meat, etc. So if you look at these pictures, all of them have half a plate of vegetables. So for some reason, there are only pictures with salads in them. But if you look at the bottom left one, I've got peas. So there is half a plate of peas. So that counts as your half a plate of vegetables. In the rest of the plates, it's all salads. Then if you have a look, the roti which I've used, I'm watching the portion of my roti. So I always say that stick to 40 grams of roti. And then again, it really depends on your hunger, your age, your activity levels. This is just an example. So for example, if you're having 40 grams of roti, aim to have 1 or 2. And it really, I can't give you numbers, but it's just thinking how we can control the amount of carbs we're having. So 40 grams of roti is really, really thin and really light. So 40 grams, 1 or 2 rotis. Then thinking about your proteins. So one of the picture has dal in it as a source of protein. The other one has got chickpeas in it. I've got lamb and peas. So lamb is my portion of protein. So if you look at the plate, half a plate of peas, quarter of the plate is lamb, quarter of the plate is my flatbread. On the left corner, if you have a look, I've got chicken. So that's again quarter of my plate as chicken. Then I've got my flatbread and then half a plate of vegetables. In the plate above, I've also put dairy on top, which is yogurt. So if you can see, there's a variety. I've got vegetables, I've got protein, I've got my roti. So I'm not just focusing on one food group. And this is how I explain to all my clients, all my patients, that when they are forming their plates, this is how they should be following the guidelines. And then if they're following this guideline, any food which they're having, if they are having it with less oil, it will be a healthy choice. Okay. I want to leave some time in the end for questions as well. That's why I'm looking at the time again and again. So what I've done is, there are some popular dishes. I've selected some popular dishes from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and I'll be discussing benefits of those foods and their nutrient content. There are so many foods, and this is quite obvious from my tweets as well, because it's the 20th day of South Asian Heritage Month. And it's every day I was thinking that how will I be able to, every day a new food? How will I be able to put a new food every day? But honestly, South Asian food is just, there's so much diversity in it. There's so many items. There's so many variations to it. So these are just few of the hundreds and hundreds of recipes and dishes I've chosen, and these I've chosen just to highlight that all these foods which we're having, they are healthy, they are nutrient dense, and they are nutritious. So I'll go through them, and then turn by turn I'll go through their nutritional information as well. So in no particular order: bortha, hudki shira, tanga, siri pie, pakoda curry, biryani, palak paneer or matar paneer, sambar, masala dosa. So I will be going through these, but surely this is just, there's so many others as well, other foods as well. So bortha, we'll start with bortha. So is bortha healthy? Yes. It is healthy. It is all vegetables. So what is bortha? Bortha can be made from different vegetables like potato, aubergine, raw banana, and it is usually eaten with rice. So vegetables, extremely a healthy choice. I've given 2 examples over here, although it can be made from different vegetables. So if you're having it with potatoes, if we're having our bortha with potatoes, it is a source of fiber, carbohydrates, B vitamins, potassium, and vitamin C. We've got aubergine. If I've selected aubergine is a source of fiber, manganese, and folate. When I'm talking about bortha, I would focus on fiber, because fiber, all vegetables are extremely rich in fiber. So when you're including bortha in your diet, in your meal, you know that you are having fiber. So the government guidelines are to have 30 grams of fiber in a day. So including bortha will be contributing to your fiber. Fiber is your friend. Those of you who want to lose weight, they can include more and more vegetables. They can include more fiber in their diet, because fiber will help them keep fuller for longer. The other thing is that there is some research to suggest that including more fiber will bring your risks, will lower your cholesterol, and it will lower your blood pressure. Including fiber in your diet will aid in digestion, and it will improve the diversity of gut microbiota. If it is working on your gut microbiota, this means the fiber which you're having will be enhancing your immunity, and it will also reduce inflammation in your gut. So fiber has got like so many benefits to it. So having porta, if you're having porta, you're doing the right thing. So again, I've put down this plate with the pink background just to give you an example. That, for example, if you're having porta, half a plate of porta, and quarter of your plate will be your rice, and then you can think of any dal or chicken or beans in the other quarter plate. So that's how you will be formulating your plate. The next one is siri pie. Is siri pie healthy? Paya. Usually they call it paya. Is it healthy? Yes, it is healthy. So sorry, I forgot to mention, I'll go back. So when I say borta, borta is more commonly eaten among the Bengali communities. So it is quite popular among the Bengali communities. And when I speak of the siri pie, it is more popular among the Pakistani communities. So there is, whenever I speak to my clients, and they say to me, when they're going through their diet with me, and they want to tell me that how unhealthy they're eating, they say to me that, oh, my diet is all over the place. I have pie every weekend. And I say to them, that's absolutely fine. If you're having pie every weekend, that is fine. And they're in a shock. They're looking at me like this. What is this woman saying? So paya if someone says to me that is paya healthy, it is healthy. And what is the problem in paya? What is the problem? Before that, what is paya? It is made from trotters and many special spices. But the problem with paya is, the siri pie, is that how it is prepared. The amount of oil put in paya is just unimaginable. Like if you take a bottle of oil, half of the bottle of oil will be used if you're making paya. So for some reason, how the recipe, how it is cooked, the paya in itself is extremely healthy, but how it's cooked is the problem. So when we think of paya do not have any meat or muscle and has the cartilage and the skin. So it is made more of cartilage and the skin, and then we make this, broth from it. And what they do in this broth is that they put lots and lots of oil in it, and that's where the problem comes. But if you scrutinize paya, the trotters in themselves, it is just a cartilage. It will have fats, and it does have cholesterol. So I'm not saying that it doesn't have fats. The thing is, when I say it has got its fats, why not let it cook in its own fat? So I've got so many of clients with whom I've been sharing this, and they've then showed me that they ended up making this siri pie without using any oil, because once they started boiling their pie, they realized that the oil is coming off from the trotters themselves, and then they cooked it with that oil. So rather than putting more oil on top. The other thing is that it has got cholesterol. And many times people say to me that I've got a cholesterol problem and I can't have paya. Yes, you can have paya even if you have got cholesterol, because you have to think how you're cooking it, and we must remember that dietary cholesterol will not affect the cholesterol in your body. What affects the cholesterol in your body is the fats, the saturated fat and the trans fats. So we have to be careful with that. So cholesterol will not be affecting your cholesterol. Dietary cholesterol will not be affecting cholesterol, but saturated fat. So for instance, if you're putting ghee in your paya, that will be affecting your cholesterol. So now we know that having siri pie is healthy. It's how you're cooking it will make a difference. And it will be a source of protein. So if you're having pie, you're adding protein to your diet. Protein is important for the structure and function of our cells, muscles, tissues. So end result, paya is healthy. So on the left hand side, if you can see a picture, this is a picture. This I've not cooked this, and this is a picture from one of my clients, and she has given me permission to share this picture with you. She did put oil in her paya, but she explained to me how less of an oil she put. If you look at her plate, she's pushed the pie in the corner, so quarter of her plate is based on pie. She's got the 40 grams of roti on the other side and half a plate of vegetables. So this is how she's made a very healthy plate from her pie. The other food, palak paneer or matar paneer. Is it healthy? Is it healthy? Yes, it is healthy. The thing is, this is more so eaten among the people from the origin of India, because many of the communities from India are vegetarians. So they're getting their protein from paneer, from cheese. So they're not vegan, but more of them are vegetarians. There are vegans as well, but more of them are vegetarians. So when I say palak and matar, so we're talking about spinach and peas. So spinach and peas will be a source of fiber, will be a source of vitamin C, vitamin A, folate, and iron. When I talk about peas, usually in vegetables are not a very good source of protein. But when we think of peas is quite, compared with other vegetables, it has got protein in quite high. So the protein level is quite high compared to other vegetables. So those who are vegetarians, peas is something very important to add in their diet. Then when we think of paneer, paneer is your cheese. Many times when I speak to my clients, they say, no, we don't want to have cheese. We don't like cheese. And when I say to them paneer, they're like, yes, we love paneer. So paneer is also cheese, and adding it in your diet is really, really beneficial. Why is it beneficial? It is a source of protein and calcium. When I say it is a source of protein and calcium, that's not all. So when you are having your paneer, this means you're having potassium. This means you're having phosphate. This means you're having pantothenic acid. This means you're having riboflavin. This means you're having iodine. So it's when you're having your paneer, you're not just having your protein and calcium, you're having all these nutrients. And the combination of all these nutrients together will work on your muscles, will work on your bones, will work on your nerves, will work on your teeth, and will work on your vision. So how important is paneer in your diet? Really important. It will also help release energy from food and help you reduce your tiredness and you being lethargic. And it will help you with your immune system, normal growth, brain development. Here, when I talk of paneer, I would specifically want to talk about iodine, because iodine is something always ignored, and iodine is extremely important because specifically for the moms in the childbearing age. Because what iodine does is iodine helps to produce the thyroid hormone, and the thyroid hormone is responsible for our metabolism, for our brain development, for our nerve function. So women in the childbearing age need to be having enough iodine for a baby's brain development. So paneer is something which is really important and which should be added to our diet. Again, I have put up this pink picture of a plate with the pink background, just giving you an example that how can you formulate your plate with palak paneer or matar paneer. Again, half of the plate can go with palak or half of the plate can go with matar. The quarter can be paneer and the other quarter can be your roti or your rice. So here you go, your healthy plate is there. The only thing which you need to keep in mind is using less oil while you're making your palak paneer or matar paneer. Okay. Now the next dish, hutki shira. What's the basic? It is from the origin of people from the origin of Bangladesh. So it is a Bengali dish. Hutki shira. Is it healthy? Yes, yes, yes. It is extremely healthy. So, what is hutki shira? Hutki shira is a fermented fish curry made with seasonal vegetables. Again, if we're talking about vegetables, I've already said that how important vegetables are. Vegetables are a source of fiber, vitamins, minerals, and aiming to have half a plate of vegetables. But when we think of the fermented fish, I think we don't give it its due importance. How great it is, because fermented fish is a probiotic, and we don't realize that our food, just like we don't talk about achar, which is a probiotic. This fish curry is a probiotic, and we need probiotics. Probiotics are healthy bacteria, and these bacteria help us aid in our digestion. They help us in our digestive system. uh, they improve our gut health. So, and when we have our improved gut health, that has got an automatic response with our mental health. So, it is improved gut health will mean improved mental health. It will also train our immune system. So, when we speak about the probiotic, they stimulate our immune system to help fight infections. So, if we want our infections to go down, we need to be having hutki shira. Why are you not having it? So we really, so that's why I say that why are we ignoring our own cuisine when people are selling probiotics, and you go to the supermarket with all these aisles, people selling it, and on the other hand we are here cooking it and we can enjoy it with our own South Asian food. So, and again, if you're making it up as a plate, half a plate of vegetables, so that will be part of the hutki shira, and then thinking about the fish, and then you can have it with rice, roti, whatever. Now, the other one, pakoda curry. Pakoda curry is usually very common among the Pakistani communities. Is it healthy? Is it? Is it? Yes, it is healthy. Then again, I've noticed when my mom used to make pakoda curry, she used to put the bigar in the end. And honestly, when I make it now, I don't put bigar in the end. And I've started, baking my pakoras for the pakoda curry. So what is, sorry, before that, what is pakoda curry? Pakoda curry is made from gram flour and yogurt. So we make pakoras, and then you make this batter from gram flour and yogurt, and you cook the pakoras with it. Extremely popular, but can be quite rich in oil, because first you're frying the pakoras, and then when you put in the bigar on top. So as I said, that you can always bake the pakoras and not put the bigar, so it's extremely healthy. The other thing is that there is lots of research on how, and now as dietitians every day we are told to advocate this as well, that we need to be thinking of more and more plant based protein. So animal based protein is really good, as it will give us so many lots of good protein and so many other nutrients, but at the same time we need to be thinking of including more and more plant based protein. So when we're thinking of plant-based protein, this is a fabulous example of it. Rather, it is a combination. It is a combination, because yogurt is an animal-based protein, because yogurt comes from milk. And on the other hand, and on the other hand, sorry, I just got distracted. On the other hand, the pakoras, and it's the, so the yogurt is the plant, yeah, and the pakoda is coming from gram flour, which is the chickpeas, and the chickpeas is plant-based protein. So we have got a combination of plant-based protein and animal-based protein. Studies had found that including more plant-based proteins can lead to lower levels of total and low density lipoproteins, cholesterol levels, and improvements in serum glucose levels and inflammation. So we want more and more plant-based protein, because they are high in fiber, low in calories, and they will help you with your cholesterol. On the other hand, something which we don't discuss, but including more plant-based protein is beneficial for the planet as well. Meat is one of the largest contributor towards the greenhouse gas emissions. Recommendations is to consume no more than 70 grams per person per day, or 350 or 500 grams per person per week. So if we, to save our planet, because we need to bring down the greenhouse gas emissions. So to save our planet, we need to be having more and more of plant-based protein. And to improve our health, we need to be including more and more plant-based protein. So doing that, and what we say is that the combination is the best. We don't want you to stop having animal-based protein, but a combination of these two. So pakora curry is the best example, which is a combination. You're helping save your planet, and you're helping yourself improve your health as well. So that's another one. Pakora curry without using less oil is extremely healthy. The next one is sambar. Sambar is, again, it is more common among the Indian communities. Is it healthy? Is it healthy? Yes, yes, yes. It is extremely healthy. It is lentil based and it's a vegetable stew. So there are lots and lots of vegetables in it, and it has got lentils in it as well. The thing, it is usually eaten at breakfast with idli or dosa. When I say it is a combination of lentils and vegetables, just think of the goodness it has. It is a source of protein, plant-based protein, which I just discussed how beneficial plant-based protein is. So it is a combination of protein, but it is a combination of all the vitamins, minerals, fiber. So just imagine all of these foods together. And here we talk about the whole food effect, because sometimes food in isolation will not be as beneficial if you have it with different foods together. So if you're having protein on its own, dal on its own, or if you're having vegetables on its own, but if you're having them together, it will give you the whole food effect, which is fabulous. So sambar is something, again, if you think of your head, half a plate of vegetables, you're having dal, so quarter plate of it as the protein, and then you can have it with your dosa or idli or any carbs of your choice. Okay, I'll quickly finish this off because I think I'm running late. So the next one is tanga. Tanga is from the Bengali communities, eaten among the Bengali communities. Is it healthy? Yes, it is healthy. And it is extremely healthy. It is made from a tomato broth and fish. When I say tomato broth, tomato has got lots of vitamin C, fiber, and tomatoes have got lycopene, which is an antioxidant. And this antioxidant is even more better absorbed when it is cooked. So tomato in its cooked shape will give you more lycopene as compared to a raw vegetable. Tanga is made from fish. Fish is a fabulous source of omega-3 fatty acids, protein, vitamins, and minerals. It is low in fat, healthier alternative to red meat and processed meat. So the guidelines which we've given is that including twice a week fish, one oily and one white. So if you're having tanga, that's brilliant. You're following the guidelines given to you by the Department of Health. So, and again, it is a source of omega-3 fatty acids. When I say omega-3 fatty acids, these are essential fatty acids and our body needs them. They are a combination of different types of, it's a family of fats, DHA, EPA, ALA, and all these are extremely important for your heart health. They are important for your blood vessels, the hormone system, your lungs, your immune system. So that is why we say that tanga is extremely healthy, a source of protein and omega-3. I'll quickly move to the next slide. Biryani. Is biryani healthy? Yes, it is healthy. What is biryani? It is cooked with chicken, beef, lamb, fish, and with multiple spices. When I say it is healthy because it is a source of carbohydrates. It is a source of protein. We need carbohydrates for energy. We need carbohydrates for B vitamins. Carbohydrates have a protein sparing effect. Carbohydrates help in the production of serotonin, which is a happy hormone which builds up our mood. So we need to be having starchy carbohydrates in our diet. Just thinking of the plate, so not having the plate full of biryani, quarter of the plate with biryani, quarter with the chicken, lamb, whatever, and half of the plate with vegetables. So coming to the last one is masala dosa. Is it healthy? Yes, it is healthy. So what is dosa? It is crepes made with rice and lentils batter. Again, rice is a source of carbohydrates, lentil is a source of protein. So protein, we need protein for the structure and function of our cells, muscles, and tissues. Carbohydrates, I said that why we need carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the preferred source of our brain and our muscles. So we need carbohydrates in our diet. It's just how we're having it, thinking about vegetables when we're having our dosa, thinking about, and it is a combination of proteins and carbs. So that's sorted anyway. So this, I was running out of time, so I quickly rushed through the end of the last foods, but just highlighting that how beneficial each food group, each of our food recipes are, and how we can include it as part of our healthy lifestyle. Thank you very much. I'm done with the presentations, and I'm happy to take any questions or comments. Vinita, I'm done. Hello? What do I do? Hang on.
You'll just need to share your StreamYard screen, Faria, and then I'll pop the questions up there.
Let's stop screen sharing, yeah?
Yes.
Is it done?
That's done, yeah. Can you see yourself?
Yes. Yes, I can, yes. So the first question is by CW Dietetics. I assume paya is classed as red meat. The thing with paya is, the pie, when we say, is that because it is more of a cartilage and the skin, with red meat we'll get all the amino acids. I think we will not get all the amino acids with paya, and it is classed as secondary protein. But nevertheless, it will be a source of protein. Is there any other question? CW Dietetics, what would you suggest as a healthy portion for paneer? Would you say the same as cheddar, 30 grams? A very good question. No, paneer's portion is quite is bigger, is higher than 30 grams, and usually I say around 100 grams can be a portion for paneer, because paneer is extremely low in calories, and if I've calculated the amount of calcium and protein, around 100 grams is fine, because 1 gram of paneer will be giving you 1 calorie. So I usually say not 30 grams, but I usually give more. Oh, another one from CW Dietetics. What would you advise on coconut milk in terms of frequency of using it? How many times a week would you advise is okay if people still want to cook with it? Do you advise to use the lower fat tins? So that's a very good question. The thing with coconut milk is that we all know that it is high in saturated fat, but most of the Indian cuisine, many of the dishes are made in coconut milk. So yes, the first thing which I would say is that go for the lower fat options. But the second thing which I've noticed is that most of the communities who use coconut milk, most of the Indian communities which use coconut milk, most of them are very healthy. Why is that? Because most of them are cooking in coconut milk, but most of their meals are plant-based. So even if they're including coconut milk, they're not having saturated fat from their meats and all. So at the end of the day, even if they're having coconut milk in their curries, they're still very healthy, because the cuisine which they're having is more plant-based. So it really depends on from person to person in the advice given to them. Madiha, thank you. This was super helpful. Which oil would you recommend for cooking Pakistani food? Ghee or olive oil? Thank you, Madiha. Thank you. The ghee is something which I will not recommend. I know that there is conflicting advice all around the internet, but if I follow the guidelines given to us by the Department of Health, ghee is something which we will not recommend because ghee is high in saturated fat. We know that saturated fat will put us at high risk of heart disease and other health conditions. So I would always say olive oil, but then again, I know that Pakistani cuisine does not taste nice in olive oil. So what I'll say is that use any vegetable oil, rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, any vegetable oil which you like. If you like olive oil, can also be used. And on the other hand, with ghee, I say that some of the dishes, if you can't enjoy without ghee, that's sometimes, yes, sometimes you can go for it. That's fine. So, but not on regular basis. CW Dietetics. What rice would you recommend? Would you advise brown basmati or standard brown rice? What do you suggest if people really don't like brown rice? Sorry, so many questions. This is a fab talk. I love the questions. I love the questions. Sorry. The thing was, I got quite distracted a few times because I could only see myself and I was getting messages and I thought Benita is messaging me and I'm doing something wrong. That's why I used to get distracted in between. But yes, so the question is about rice. What I say is that obviously we always say that use brown rice, but many times people say that we don't like brown rice and brown rice takes ages to cook, this, that. So I always say that go for basmati rice instead. Many of the South Asian rice dishes taste good anyway in basmati rice. So basmati rice necessarily doesn't have to be brown rice because basmati rice, the grain of basmati rice is such that it is slow release in your body. So go for basmati rice if you don't like brown rice. If you don't like basmati rice, I say have any rice, but then watch your portions. Portion will be the key. Then when we are filling up our plate with rice, quarter of the plate with rice. So that's the portion is the key for it. Bhavani, what are the health benefits of okra, bhindi? It's a vegetable. Bhindi is full of fiber. Bhindi will have all the vitamins. So again, the problem which what lies in bhindi is okra is how we cook it. Most of the times, I remember how my mom used to cook it. She used to first fry it, and then she used to make a base, and then she used to put the fried bhindi in that. So that's the problem where it lies. Otherwise, it is full of nutrition. It is full of nutrients. It has got all the lovely vitamins in it. It has also got vitamin C in it. But the thing is how you're cooking in it. So what I'll say to you, Bhavna, if you are the one who's frying your bhindi, rather than frying it, first bake it and then put it in your sauce. CW Dietetics. Do you find high salt intakes to be an issue with these traditional foods? Yes, I do. Our traditional foods are extremely high in salt, and this is something which but it again depends from family to family, because when I speak to some of my clients, many of them, they don't put salts in their food anyway because there's so many spices in the food anyway. So it varies from person to person, but yes, most of the times these foods are high in salt. The other thing which I'll say is which I have experienced is because I buy those packets where biryani packet, paya packet, it's just easy, just tilt it in and cook your food. Those are they've added a lot of salt in it. So if you're cooking yourself at home, you can regulate the amount of salt you're using. South Asian Heritage Month. Fariha, what are your 3 top tips for healthcare professionals who may not be from a South Asian background but advising those from South Asian communities about diet and weight loss? It's a fabulous question. So my tip would be, I'm not sure if I'll get to 3 or not, but I'll start off. My tip for them is, it is extremely difficult to understand. You're sitting, you're seeing patients, and all of a sudden the South Asian patient comes in. It is extremely difficult to understand the culture and the eating habits of so many communities. Like, for instance, if I'm here and someone from the African background comes in, I will find it extremely difficult to advise to them. So it is not easy. What my advice to all the health professionals is, keep two things in mind. One is that be a listener. Ask your patient what they want, what are their likes, what do they eat, rather than saying that eat this, that, this. First ask them. I know it will take time, but giving them the opportunity, and this will break the barriers in the first instance. That, like that, if you ask them what are your likes, what are your dislikes, what do you eat, what do you eat for your main meal, just asking them. And once you know what sort of foods they're having, then you can advise. And the second advice which I will always say is that there are you can find certain leaflets, certain booklets, especially from Diabetes UK, which are based on the South Asian communities. Always stack them up with yourself. And if you've got a client or a patient like that, or if you don't know anything, you can always give those booklets or leaflets. So two things: always listen to them, always ask them, and number three, stack yourself with all these leaflets and booklets about South Asian communities. CW Dietetics, thank you so much for answering my questions and for the amazing talk. Thank you. Thank you very much. Madiha, thank you so much. Thank you, Madiha. Thank you. Is it done? That's all the questions. Thank you very much, everyone, for having me. Thank you, the South Asian Heritage Month, for having me for this talk. I hope it was beneficial, and speak to you some other time if I get the opportunity. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.